All right, what's up, y'all? I'm back with another short video for you guys, and on this topic, I'm just gonna be basically talking about healing like your family issues. If you do have any family issues, because I know some people are very close to their families, and that's a blessing to honestly be close to your family and have support, and you know what I mean, get together and support each other through everything, even when you disagree. If you click on this video, basically, if you are a person that is usually, a lone wolf, you're not really the type of person that necessarily have such a big support system, even though you know of your family, you grew up with your family, but you just kind of probably can't agree or get on the same kind of page with them to be around them long enough to build such a stronger connection. But to me, you know, I'm a lone wolf. I do a lot of things by myself, and I've always have, even just as a kid or just growing up. It's just naturally I've always been that way, and I think that just caused me to feel alone. You know what I mean? Like, just because I do everything by myself, and I'm used to doing everything that I need to do for me. You know what I mean? Without having to lean on somebody doesn't necessarily mean that I am alone. You get what I'm saying? I just developed that mindset of I can't lean on anybody because growing up, that's genuinely how I felt. You know what I mean? It just takes you back to like healing, not even just healing family issues, but healing your old wounds that you've developed from childhood, if you have any. You know what I mean? So it's just growing up. Like, I'm gonna be 100% honest. You know what I mean? Like, I love my family. I appreciate them. But there was a lot of moments that I just felt like I either felt black sheeped or I felt kind of just like, going through the motions, like with certain family members or different ones in particular. But some of them, I felt more of a connection with, and then some of them I didn't feel much of a connection with at all. So it was just like growing up, I just always kind of felt like I couldn't really lean on anybody, especially just because of what I was really going through in my own household, and just being left to grow up and get through that kind of made me feel a lot of different ways. But it's just, it's no fault to anybody around me. I don't feel like that. It's just it's yeah. It's just too deep to get into for it to make sense. But if you know what I'm saying. Like, you grew up in something traumatic, and it just seemed like the whole family just turned a blind eye or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you get what I mean. Like, but family, what they say, family's family, and that whole what happens in the house type of vibe, type of mentality just keeps you kind of boxed in. But for me, I just always kind of felt like I couldn't lean on nobody because I just really did. I just felt treated, unfairly or improperly a lot of the time. Not saying that I didn't have any loving moments. Obviously, I did. Of course, I can't say I had zero, but that's not realistic. But there were plenty of not loving moments. So that, to me, it's just I just kind of grew that mentality, and just never speak to them like that. Never talk to them like that. I do make sure that I do acknowledge them on their birthdays, and I do visit for holidays when I can. I do as much as I can from afar, but I do acknowledge my family. I do love them, but I do have my own discrepancies about like how some things went or how some things just kind of are. You know what I mean? And that's why that one book that I wrote, A Cup of Family Tea, about the family necessarily. I wasn't really trying to be what is it called? I wasn't trying to be malicious toward my family or anything like that, but I was just giving my view on when I grew up and how I viewed things about the family. And that's pretty much what it is. A lot of stuff that just gets swept under the rug, or not talked about. And, maybe I shouldn't have put it all in a book, but that was my way of being able to express, because also, even when I was growing up, I wasn't really able to express myself either. There was a big, huge shutdown. If they felt like I was wrong, that was it, because they're the adult and I'm the kid. It didn't matter whatever it was about. So I never really got the chance to speak. So it was my way of having a voice. Maybe it came out a certain way, but sometimes you can't really shut down somebody who has something to say. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's just past all of that. To me, my family is still important to me. I do feel like it is important to have a connection with them, and I do feel like if you are in a place where you feel like you just don't want to do it, you don't care, honestly, I feel like you should try. If you do have the capacity and it is a chance, like there is that level of like you can, you guys got past stuff that happened years ago, or you can talk about it even though it's so old. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter how old it is. If you never spoke about it, I think you should. Because family is important. Having people around you that love you and support you is really a big difference in life, honestly. It really is. Even this is coming from somebody who do everything by themselves. This is coming from somebody who feels like they can't depend on nobody. I'm telling you, from a person that feels just like that, I feel like it was much, much better, honestly. If I had all of that support and love that I always felt like I was missing, like, or when I see it sometimes, just like when I went to visit my homegirl for her baby shower, and her boyfriend's family like put together, to celebrate them bringing life. It was a beautiful thing. Like, honestly, it was just like, I'm not saying like their family's perfect, so I don't know their family. You know what I mean? Nobody is perfect and everybody's not perfect, but I am saying that it was a perfect moment. So it doesn't really matter whatever else was going on, to be honest, but it's like to be celebrated like that and to be welcomed like that and to just have that, you walking in, and it's beautiful. You able to barbecue, able to sit back out there, listen to music, and just fellowship, be with each other, like just be there. Like, that's really a beautiful thing. And that's just something I feel like if you have the chance to do, or you have a chance to even create your own, or share what you have with your family, I think that you should. So if you're feeling like you just can't, you ain't, you the black sheep, you just like whatever, it's still, even if you're successful and you've been proven that you don't need them, you should still try, like, if there is any capacity in you, because honestly, that feeling will still touch you way more than you thought that it would ever, because this is like, it's just really a beautiful thing. It's kind of unexplainable. It's something that money cannot buy you. So, but yes, I hope this, helps somebody out. These are just my thoughts and what I think about things. But also, too, if you guys have not, please check out my book, Self Love Now. This is my latest book. This is my quote book. All of my books are on Amazon. If you type in Mahogany Clark, you will find my books. But yes, until next time, please just definitely think about that.